Well, hello everyone. Did you ever think, what would happen if, let's say, the German Empire would have declared war on the Russian Empire in 1910 in the powder keg of Europe? Well, let's find that out. The thing is, we won't do it ourselves, alright? The AI will do all of the hard lifting for us. We'll just watch and spectate how the situation is gonna develop, essentially. Let me get my nice military cap on, right? Yeah, especially military cap. There we go. Alright, so the question now is, what's gonna happen? So what we'll do is very easy, very simple. Okay, we'll simply enable the console, no CB. Declare war, call all allies, there we go, turn off no CB. Now we're just gonna spectate. On that note, everyone, please leave a like, a comment and subscribe, especially a comment since it enables with the algorithm and many of my subscribers still do not see my videos. So in that sense, please don't forget to ring the bell as well. Subscribe, ring the bell, like, comment, you know guys, the usual drill. So this is done. We will let the AI do the hard lifting, like I said, on speed 4. These are quite some army groups, without a doubt. Quite some army groups. The thing is, wait, why didn't the French join the war? Okay, now the French joined the war. There we go. Now it's a, well, it's not a world war, but it's a major European war. Because, yeah, it's a major European war. You can turn off the shift. So, what do you think of such kinds of episodes, guys? Please let me know in the comments down below. It seems like, though, the Russians didn't really expect this onslaught. Well, the Austrians are not making progress, but the Germans are pushing into Poland. Well, and the French are actually, okay, just defending, so... Alright, well, you know, if you play, it's always a good thing to see the front line flashing green at that point, right? Oh, there's a nice small encirclement as well. Who doesn't like encirclements, isn't it so? If we look to the bigger scheme of things, Central Powers have 1.2 million troops, and the Entente has actually more troops. They have around 1.2 to 2 million troops, and although the Central Powers have a bigger industry than the Entente, that is also the air created up there. I really want to see how the German AI would do the peace treaty actually, if this Kaiserreich scheme would be employed or how it would be. Guys, if you have any other mods I can check out or do this kind of gameplay, then please let me know in the comments down below and I'll look my best into that. Well, the Germans have 870,000 troops employed. The Russians have 860,000. The thing is, the Russians have their troops all across the country, spread out all across the country very thinly. This means that, of course, they are gonna face far fewer troops. They'll have far fewer troops deployed in the Western Front than the Germans will have. That's of course the case, right? Well, I may even say at this point that the Russians are doomed. There was an event in the past in which the civil war was activated and then Russia got pieced out separately depending on how much the Germans, on how many victory points the Germans captured, I think. But it all depends on the capture of victory points. How are the Austro-Hungarians? They have 80,000 troops, so... Well, they totally annexed Bosnia and Herzegovina. Well, congratulations, I suppose. Now they have 400,000 troops. about the Ottomans? The Ottomans have, well, 130,000 troops. They just have 130,000 troops. Well, I would say that having 130,000 troops is not really an accurate depiction of the Ottoman army. Well, the Serbians, Greeks, Bulgarians, they have more than the Ottomans combined, so that's going to be a problem for them. Therefore, it would not be smart if they would also join the war against the Russians, because, well, they are on the brink of collapse themselves. The Italians are going to invade them in a bit. And then you know how that turns out. What I really find interesting, though, is that that there's absolutely no progress made. There's like zero progress made on the French front. The French lost 70,000 troops trying to grind to the Germans. Actually, most of the losses of the Germans are towards the French, interestingly. It's, well, the revolution might not break out, and they just have 13 military factories. That's pretty interesting. They have 13 military factories. Oh, and the Germans are being navally invaded by Russia, really. A naval invasion. So right now the Russians are navally invading the Germans in Wilhelmshaven. Well, they didn't even capture a port. Oh, they captured the port of Hamburg, but that's, and also the port of Hanover, I think. Right? Oh no, there's still a lot of supply. Well, let us see the smartness of the AI. Just landing troops, just slaughtering their men in pointless naval invasions. Well, the Austro-Hungarians aren't really making any progress, as it seems. It's mostly... alright. Okay, the Russian Empire has called in the United Kingdom. Now this broke out to a major world war. The thing is, the war tilted majorly in the advance of the Russians. Now, the thing is, I don't think the Germans would have, you know, the British would have joined the war, actually. What do you guys think? I do not think that the British would have joined the war if the Germans had not declared war on Belgium. So this is pretty an interesting development. Now the thing is, will the British deploy their troops to help the French? It does not seem like that. They have barely troops on their own. They have 180,000, and they have to use all their troops to guard their empire. British Russia, yeah, I don't think that's... They may just support material aid, material support. And did the Russians finally manage to to halt the German onslaught? Well, it may seem like it, right? May seem like it. I don't know, though. I don't know. We're at 1911, and it seems like that the front line is now green in towards so favoring the Russians. Huh. So is that it? Is the German advance halted? Well, this is actually pretty historical. I think they pushed like this in history as well. The Russians can certainly put up a far bigger fight than they are at this point. And, well, the Germans are actually making breakthroughs on the French region. The line, as it may seem, like, you know, every province counts. Every province is a huge gain for the German war machine. Thing is, what would the Italians do, actually? Would they join the Entente, or what would they do? That's the big question. Well, still, progress is being made, so I think this war is certainly dragging on for quite a bit. For quite a bit, right? Let's say that the Ottomans... Let's just, guys, let's just, to spice things up, let's make the Ottomans join war as well, alright? Why not, right? Why not? To just spice things up a little. Let's take control of the mighty Ottoman army ourselves. Yeah, and see how much we can push. See how much we can push. I mean, I still think that the Germans would have won the war, the Germans, so ask the German faction. We can't because the tension is too low apparently. Should we really? Should we make the Ottomans join the war against the Russians? I don't know. Let's is the question on that. I don't know. I'm not sure here. I'm gonna say yeah. Come on. No CB war. No CB war against the Russians. Boom. Now all of our army just march aggressively into Russian territory. Oh, actually, okay, that wasn't so smart because the Egyptians are actually there. The Egyptians are capturing our provinces now, so there is a major new front in this theater. Let's just join the Central Powers, because why not, right? Because why the hell not? Oh, it's pretty nice. I mean, Libya was gonna get invaded by the Italians anyway, so the Ottomans aren't really missing out on much with giving up Libya. No, I just want to see if actually they could have like captured this theater, just attacking aggressively. Join wars, Hejaz, okay, let's call them all in. There we go. Now it is a proper world war, and the Russians are holding steadfast, though. The Russians are holding steadfast against the. They have managed to back down the German offensive, as it seems. This is like the worst difficult scenario for the Russians possible. Yeah. Let's just say that the Ottoman justification of war was the Germans are shipping troops into Africa. That's pretty interesting to see actually that they're doing that. I wouldn't have expected that. So, well, I mean, I suppose thank you for taking care of my that, right? Well, it seems down. Well, we can maybe cut off the Russians in the Caucasus. That would be great. Our losses barely amount to 8,000 at this point, so it's really not a big number at all. Just get set Middle East, whatever. Let's get more Sweden better. Factories. It's already maxed out in a few provinces, interestingly. East Thrace may fall to the Bulgarians, I don't know. I don't think so, actually, because we are in the Central Powers now, actually. If the Serbians, can they, like, I think there might be an event, or not at all. Yeah, liberate the Balkans. Yeah, okay. So they may create the Balkan League, and then you know how that it's gonna turn out to be. Right now, the Allies are sending major troop contingents to the Ottomans, okay, and the Russians landed on Ottoman soil as well. I think now it is time to give command to the AI, since we have done plenty at this point. Okay. So, I would have expected a collapse. Actually, the French front line might collapse. I mean, they have 1 million troops. The French have 1 million troops. That is quite a huge amount. The thing is, they just have like 18 divisions applied there. Where are the rest of the troops? They're just guarding. They're in Asia, invading the Ottomans. Naval invasion here, naval invasion there, trying to knock the Ottomans out. And we have Egypt. So yeah, the Germans are sending troops all across the world. All right, so I think we can factually say that this war has come to a standstill. Right, that this war has come to a standstill. Oh, there are many British troops just encircled in Africa. That's not so good for them. The French are capturing Tunisia. Although the British and French and Russians are gonna lose many troops there if they lose the port of Beirut. It's gonna be a huge catastrophe, you could say. Yeah, well, alright, so this turned out pretty differently than expected, so it is at least balanced. The balance of power is balanced. Although the French, they might lose against the Germans actually. Look, they are just 2% towards capitulation actually. That's not a big deal at all if you think about that. It's 2% towards capitulation. All the Germans are pushing through the French front lines, so France may fight a separate peace, sign a separate peace. Yeah, the Ottomans just, I don't know. I mean, the Russians had to redirect troops to the Ottoman theater. Now they're being invaded there as well. Damn, the Ottomans may just collapse. So much about it being a great idea of the Ottomans. Well, the Germans are coming to their aid, and they are pushing the invaders back. Although then you may ask, what is the point of the Allies to invade a country with so limited manpower, with so limited potential at this point? And the Chinese Civil War just broke out at this point. Yeah, well, anyway guys, I think that's it. If you want to see more, please let me know. I would have liked to see the French collapse actually. Actually, let's just keep looking at the Germans are just marching towards France. The French army is like, nope, I'm not here, I'm not resisting at all. Yeah, on the outskirts of Vichy. You know, AI logic essentially. AI logic. Well, I'm actually thinking, what would the Italians think? Would I be like, yeah. I mean, if the Germans would say, Italy, if you join our war, we'll give you the Alps, Provence, Savoy, and some other chunks, and Corsica, some other chunks of French territory. I wonder what the decisions of the Italians would be, actually. And well, the Serbians are still getting ready to attack the Ottomans, whereas the Ottomans are being sliced into two parts. Wow. Well, actually the Germans might even get pushed back, as it seems. So the Italians might really be the tide-turning factor in this war. I mean, the German troops are in front of Paris, so I can very well imagine the Italians think like, nope, we're gonna snatch the French colonies, and we'll attack the French. So let's say that is what the Italians think. We're gonna snatch eastern France and the French colonies, because the war is really not going for the favor of the French. So let's just imagine that this is what the Italians think. Okay, they don't want to attack Austria-Hungary. This is an alternate historic scenario where they are just like, yes, Savoy, Corsica, all of these provinces will be ours. They just march into France without any justification of war. They're just like, yep, we're just gonna march straight into France, and we are gonna join the Central Powers as well. So now, this is how the Central Powers look like. The Americans are the only thing that could still help the Entente. So I just love that when the AI just like marches into when they can just march into the territory without doing anything. I mean, I know this isn't really how it would have been, even if you play Hearts of Iron 4 normally, but who cares, right? We are here to have a good time, to enjoy this game, and this is how it's being done, essentially, right? Well, the Ottomans are being slaughtered, though. They are being nearly invaded from all sides. Holy cow. So yeah, what about the French? Can we even ask control state? No, we can't. Well, No, the French are just 17% towards capitulation, so that's pretty interesting. Well, they captured Corsica because, well, I mean, they could just march into Corsica and that's it. I think we can give control back to the AI once more. Yeah. So, I think the French will surrender at any moment, and then we would have a second Kaiserreich scenario, actually, I think. Yeah, so can we witness the fall of the French? Or not? Maybe. Well, I think we might witness the fall of the Ottomans. The Ottomans are 69% towards capitulation. They lost Constantinople to the British. They lost Constantinople to the British, so the Ottomans are being completely obliterated. So the Germans have to conduct a liberation of them eventually. So this is how the war would have looked like, with things changing, with things taking a slightly different turn of events, perhaps, right? Yeah, with the Italians joining on the side of the Germans, the war being declared 4 years earlier. This is how things would have looked like. Well, in the next episode we'll do something differently. So I suppose, yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions, any tips, or anything else you would like to see in this game, please let me know. And with that, I wish you all a great day and see you all next time. Bye.